If there is one thing I absolutely adore about Agatha Christie is that how she take an everyday moment, like sitting in a train, minding your own business, and turn that into a start of a chilling mystery. 450 from Paddington does exactly that. Picture this. Elspeth is an old tired woman who has just finished her Christmas shopping. She gets on the train, settles into a seat, and drifts off. When she wakes up, she feels relaxed, completely unaware that the next few seconds are about to change everything. Another train slowly pulls up beside hers, moving at the same speed. Most of the compartments look empty. The blinds are down, nothing strange. And then, snap! One blind suddenly flies up. In that split second, Elizabeth sees something no one should ever have to see: a man strangling a woman. Not a sound, she sees it happening. And this is the moment the story grabs you. Because what do you do when you're the only person who witnessed a murder and absolutely no one believes you? I am Shalet Jimmy, and this is my channel all about books, stories, and the magic they leave behind. Elspeth does everything a sensible citizen would: alert the ticket collector, inform the station master, report it to the police, but there is no body, no complaint, no news report, nothing to suggest a crime ever took place. And here enters one of my favorite fictional detectives of all time, Miss Jane Marple. Now, if you're new to Christie, let me tell you this: Miss Marple is no Poirot, no Sherlock Holmes. She doesn't have dazzling monologues or dramatic deductions. What she has is something far more dangerous: quiet wisdom and years of observing human behavior in a tiny English village. She is a kind of grandmother who will offer you tea and solve a murder while stirring in the sugar. When Elspeth turns to her friend Miss Marple for help, the story takes off because Miss Marple believes her, and that belief sets the tone for the entire novel. But here is where Christie shines. Miss Marple doesn't simply guess. She is methodical in her own deceptively gentle way. She studies the train line, she retraces the route, she consults maps, and she zeroes in on a fascinating possibility: a curve in the track that runs right beside Rutherford Hall, a large estate with a complicated family living inside it. If a body was thrown out of a train, that curve is exactly where it would land, and that is where the real tension begins. This is what makes 450 from Paddington such a compelling read for me. Not just the who killed her, but the how on earth did they get away with it. The setup is brilliant, the pacing sharp, and Christie builds the suspense layer by layer, all while keeping the tone cozy and deceptively calm. Only she can make murder seem like a puzzle waiting for you to crack over a cup of tea. What I personally loved is the premise itself. The entire plot grows from one fleeting glimpse, a half-seen moment between two speeding trains, and from that tiny spark, Christie builds an intricate story of deeply buried truths. And of course, Miss Marple's involvement is the icing on the cake. She doesn't march around interrogating suspects. She nudges, observes, sends someone to investigate on her behalf, and she connects dots in the most Miss Marple way possible: quietly, politely. Now, I promise no spoilers, so I won't tell you whether the body is found, who the woman was, what Rutherford Hall has to do with it, or who committed the crime. But I'll tell you this: the satisfaction of seeing everything fall into place at the end is classic Christie. Clever, surprising, and immensely enjoyable. If you love cozy mysteries with a chilling premise, if you enjoy slow unfolding tension, or if you simply want a story where an elderly woman with knitting needles can outwit everyone else, this is your book. And if you're someone who reads mysteries for the how and the why and not just the who, this one is going to delight you. Because sometimes all it takes to uncover a murder is looking out of the train window at the right moment. And trust me, you will never look at train windows the same way again.